Hotep, Black Power, your brother Shaka Sankofa, Street Law Soldiers. As always, giving honor to the Creator and the ancestors. Giving honor to my sister, who's in her essence, as well as Chief of Staff Harris Abdul, our Chief of Staff of the Street Law Soldiers. I give honor to all the brothers and sisters and all our ancestors who gave their lives in a middle passage for us to be here today. And also all my relatives, my father, my in-laws, and all the brothers and sisters specifically who recently made their ascension. And for all those brothers and sisters who made their ascension, those known and unknown, may you rest in power and continue to provide us with strength and energy and insight to continue to fight of black liberation and salvation. Today, I'm not gonna go on no particular topic right now. I'm just gonna flow a little bit in different areas. But I'm gonna start with the black male. The struggle, that the black male has to go through. That the black male has to endure on a daily and consistent basis. How hard it is for, not just the black man, just for us, the black race, period. How some of us we sell each other out as a result of post-traumatic slave syndrome. We have no regard and we show no love towards one another. When you have brothers like Driving Miss Daisy, the movie, Part 2, Driving Miss Daisy, the new movie, Part 2, starring Steve Harvey and Paula Deen as Miss Daisy. We only have a few of us that are actually putting in some serious fucking work. Everybody else is bullshitting. Everybody else has their mind on just having a good time, wanting to be entertained, wanting to feel good, wanting to look good. And not thinking about the generations ahead. The 3 and 4 generations ahead. What do they have to look forward to at the rate things are going today? What are you feeding and injecting into the minds and hearts of the generations that are soon to come up? We teach our babies how to twerk. We teach them how to just be a good athlete. That the only way out of the fucking hood, the only way to success is that you have to be able to have a 40-something inch vertical or be able to run a 4.040, and look forward, and your goal is to become a Washington Redskin or a Dallas Cowboy or a Pittsburgh Steeler or the next Floyd Mayweather or the next LeBron James. Because most of these queens, that's what they're focusing on, is using their children, using their child as a tool of success, a financial tool to get out of the fucking hood. But let's be honest, if you were on your motherfucking JOB, you wouldn't currently be in the hood. If you allowed the seed of success to take fruition in your prime, you wouldn't be in the situation that you're in today. And most of us stay in this situation because we spend so much time trying to give people the impression that we're not in this motherfucking situation and condition, that it just keeps us more and more in that condition. We just dig a deeper hole, of oppression for ourselves. instead of the communities, brothers and sisters getting together, coming to the table, combining their resources as well as their talents, and come up with an economic plan to enhance the gifts, the gifts that the Creator has given us. And I'm not talking about no fucking sports. I'm talking about those of our babies who have the potential of becoming tomorrow's lawyers and doctors and lecturers and scholars and teachers and builders. There's nothing wrong with sports, but let's not get it twisted. Let's not put your brain in your lunchbox, and just focus on being some type of athlete, a damn slave, a workhorse. When was the last time you watched the NFL draft? When was the last time you watched the NFL tryouts, where they usually make these brothers look like goddamn slaves, like they're animals, tying truck tires to their back, and see how fast they can run with the fucking bulldozer tire on their back, jumping through hoops, literally jumping through hoops, through tires, how far they can throw a football, how fast they can weave in between ropes. It looks as if these brothers are trying to escape from a plantation. And then they give them a too tight, too small suit, put a baseball hat on them, put them on the auction block, make sure they have all their teeth, make sure they have superb running abilities, super normal strength. And they put them on the auction block, and certain teams bid on these individuals like they're slaves. And they say the San Francisco plantation chooses such and such. And then he goes and hugs the family because they know they're going to have some dollars that they'll be able to live like the rest of us should live. If you are a black god, why isn't it that we live like black gods? Why isn't it that we eat like black gods? We eat like animals because we eat animals. A real true black god doesn't eat an animal. If we are the original people, if we are the first people, we gave everybody else life and existence on this planet. We have built the wonders of the world. But yet we live in the most wretched fucking conditions. We have the most abnormal sub-level thinking on the planet. We're at the bottom of the totem pole. We don't look out for each other. We don't protect one another. So we give everyone an opportunity to fuck us around. Now it's to the point where they're hanging us once again. We're being lynched once again. It's 1955 all over again. Emmett Till, Roy Bryant, all over, warmed over. Hangings and mob lynchings all over again. What do you think a police shooting is? That's a public lynching. That is a public lynching. And for you cracker-loving niggas, you fucking coons, answer this. Sheriff Clark, David Clark, you goddamn coon, you sellout, Tom and motherfucker, where your tongue should be put on a goddamn dinner plate and eaten by jackals, motherfucker. That you would sit here and say that the deaths of our brothers is the fault of their own. When they've been selected and targeted for assassination and murder and slaughter, some in the presence of their own family and siblings and spouses. And then you, as a supposedly be a black man that has a cowboy hat on as a sheriff, who will do anything to be a Caucasian, will sit there and condemn not only the victims but the families. That's why I had said death to you motherfuckers. And see, for those who keep saying, we're not supposed to hate and all this old passive motherfucking thinking, why they continue to kill us, move out of the way. Just get the fuck out of the way, because you are a goddamn coward. You are a goddamn coward. Any black man just thinks like that. But when it happens to your motherfucking people, that's up to you. You can sit around, and hope and pray and ask a white non-existent deity to put compassion in the heart of a devil. Have you ever seen that before? When you look at horror movies or in the movies on television, they have these Freddy Kruegers and Jasons and all this. Have you ever seen any of these motherfuckers that have been murdered take time out to pray that the motherfucker that's after them have a change of heart? And have they ever had a change of heart? Hell no. Because they were wasting time while this motherfucker was after them. And more than likely they got killed. Once again, like I said, the time has come where we have to stand up and fight. You have to give your life up. You have to be willing to sacrifice your life for your babies to live. Because it'd be a damn shame for you to hold hands with your children while FEMA is walking you into one of these goddamn extermination camps or internment camps. That's to show how much of a coward you were, that you didn't fight for your children's liberation and salvation. That you were too much of a bitch. But think about the brothers and sisters during slavery that took the whippings and the rapings, and a lot of them lost their lives, but they fought back. The bulk of them fought back. And they dealt with traitors accordingly as such. But we don't want to pay any attention to that because we've been trained by the devil to have faith in his self-appointing man-made deity or God that he has given you to pray to. And a lot of you are afraid. I don't give a damn what you say. You are scared to stop praying to this white goddamn God. Fuck that goddamn God. Fuck that cracker. I'm not afraid to say that shit. There's no boogeyman and all this spookism and all that bullshit. What's going to happen, going to happen. So you cannot prevent that. But what you can do is clean your mind out from this white supremacy. Because a lot of you at home, you'll talk that motherfucking gangster shit to your family members, your siblings, and your spouse. But the shit you say at home, you don't say none of that shit at work. You don't say none of that shit at work. You're the total opposite. And that's racism, white supremacy. Those are people who are afraid. Because you know the truth. Most of you know the truth. Most of you know when you go to church at 9 o'clock. That when you step out at 11 o'clock, it's not nothing that's going to change. It's not going to be any changes. You're just going to feel good for 35 to 40 minutes. It's like a blast. It's like a hit of some type of drug. It'll wear off in about an hour. Then you'll come back down to reality. And no one will ever know, based on what comes out of your mouth, that you have even stepped in any type of church or any type of temple or any type of mosque. Yeah, you'll say assalamu alaikum and all that, bump your fucking head on the prayer rug and all that, and 20 minutes later, you on nigger time. I've been around people that were on the street selling drugs, and at noon, they stopped selling drugs and put towels in the goddamn grass to make salat. And they wouldn't sell no motherfucking dope until they was finished making salat. And then you had niggas saying, oh, you can't interrupt them now because they're making salat. When they finish making salat, then they'll continue selling dope. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? That shows how much power was in that shit. That shows how much power was in the church. Oh, hallelujah. Kurt Franklin, GP, are you with me? And these motherfucking homosexuals, where the church has allowed all this shit to take place now. Jesus said it's okay for a man to suck a nigga's dick and get fucked in his ass. That he's a cold-blooded Christian, that he, nobody shouldn't judge and all these motherfucking excuses. Those are not African principles. Those are not African principles. Those are the principles that we're supposed to be living by, that forbid that type of behavior. Women on women, twerking. All this type of shit. I don't need no man. I got my vibrator in Jesus Christ. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. Because there's no saving power in that shit. But the people that look like you, that through time and history have been messengers and warners to educate us on a creative force. And that the God that you are searching for, the deity that you are searching for, is in you. Because everything that you're looking for outside of you is in you, including what you call God. So, and that's just, and when you refuse or you are afraid to step out of that realm, that's fear. That's fear. Fear. F-E-A-R. False education appearing as real. That's what fear is. So don't tell me that you're not scared of the motherfucking white man. Don't come to me with that. Because you are. Because we all have remnants, even so-called conscious people that function on a God frequency still have remnants, if not a substantial amount of racism, white supremacy in them, including myself. The great ancestor Steve Coakley said, if you want to find out if you are under control of racism, white supremacy, he said, when you drive in your car at 4 o'clock in the morning and nobody's out there but you, and it's a stop sign right there, and you stop, you are under racism, white supremacy, because the cracker don't even have to be out there and be present, and you'll stop anyway. You're going to obey him even when he's not around. And that's the same thing the great ancestor, the brother Carter G. Woodson had stated in the book Miseducation of the Negro. They're stating that once you teach a man to come to the back door instead of the front door, that you don't have to take him to the back door anymore once you show him, because he's going to go there he's going to go there anyway, because he's the black man has been trained that way. But when Marcus Garvey came on the scene, when Noble Drew Ali came on the scene, when Elijah Muhammad came on the scene, when Brother Malcolm, when Dr. King, when Huey, Bobby, Fred Hampton, the Panthers, Snick, with Brother Twame Toure, even on a Pan-African level, Thomas Sankara, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, Old Testament Nelson Mandela, Patrice Lumumba, Winnie Mandela, on a Pan-Africanist level, and that's and Zbigniew Brzezinski. That was the one thing he and the devil David Rockefeller feared the most, and they wrote that in their books. That was the thing that they feared the most in the black community was Pan-Africanism. That the blacks were going to Pan-Africanism is just when Africans unite all across the globe. Because the same problem you have in Ghana is the same problem we have here in Georgia. The same problem you have in Haiti is the same problem we have in Maryland. The same problem that you brothers and sisters have in the UK, we have it in New York. The one thing, even in South, even in Soweto, we have the same issues in LA. And that's the one thing we all of black African melanated people, that's what we have in common, is oppression. We're being oppressed by the European cracker, by white supremacy, which is a global system. It's not a local system. It's not a national system. It's an international global system where people of color all over the planet are under the control and hypnosis and the technical whip and lash of the system of racism, white supremacy. And it's just like we're back in slavery. We're being lynched again. We had mob lynchings, Roanoke, Virginia, Lexington, North Carolina, nooses in the University of Maryland, dormitory, frat house. We're back it's 1950 all over again. And we don't want to look at it like that because of the fact that white supremacy has lined up a certain amount of coons. Steve Harvey, Charles Barkley, Ray Lewis, Day Sheriff David Clark, Stacey Dash, Raven Simone, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Wendy Williams, Armstrong Williams, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Jesse Lee Peterson, Tommy Sotomayor, O'Shea Duke Jackson, even on a social commentary where you have these gay coons like O'Shea Duke Jackson, who's open and flaming homosexual, but he's pro-white, but they do this stuff for entertainment. That's why, like I explained to you all before, that when they make these Sotomayor and all these punks, when they make these videos, it don't affect me anymore because I know why you're doing it. You're doing it just to receive hits, so you can, on the 21st every month, you can get a paycheck from YouTube. I haven't received not one motherfucking dime. I didn't come on here for money. Of course, we all need money to do a lot of things. There's a lot of things I want to do. I want to have. My goal is to have a television show. And have Normal people on. No fucking celebrities, none of that bullshit. Maybe every blue moon. But I want to have the average motherfucker on there. You know, I want the homeless man on there with all his bags and shit stinking and pissed up. You know, the average, the real people. The people who are visibly and mentally, emotionally, and physically affected by the system of racism, white supremacy. Because we want to have a shirt and tie on all the time and cross our motherfucking legs in a 45-degree angle, you know, and twiddle our motherfucking thumbs and dangle these motherfucking European pieces of paper called degrees in front of people like that makes you so brilliant. Because you went to school to learn more about how to obey and stay in concordance with white supremacy than the average motherfucker. Because that's all those degrees teach you. How to be a good motherfucking employee, a good nigga, a good slave, how to stay in compliance with the system of racism, white supremacy. Because none of these schools teach you about you, not the real truth about you. And everyone that has went into these schools and universities and what have you and made an attempt to raise the level of consciousness within our people, they've been ousted by our own people. I've heard black people that that were my clients say that they don't want to hear the black power shit. Because white power has control of them right now. The system of racism, white supremacy is fucking the shit out y'all. Going up all in your ass. And a lot of you have become soft. A lot of you have become so pussyfied and pudding-hearted. Nah, man, you know, violence is not, brother. You know, the violent piece is, we need to, you know, let people be where they at, you know, and then we work on take that from this part, you know, and just work with that piece and the fuck up with that shit, man. When are you gonna stand up and fight? Stop being a coward, man. Stop being a fucking coward all your life. All your life you're gonna be a motherfucking punk. You know. Because you allowed yourself to not deal with reality. I know a lot of people like that. They scared of the streets. They envy and jealous of people that been locked up. So they'll try to make fun of that type of shit. But ain't nothing funny, motherfucker. The only reason why you laughing, you know, because you really want to ask, how did you survive? Because I know I couldn't. Because I know, man. I know relatives and the like that if they were locked up, man, somebody would have tried them. And that's why they'll make jokes. They'll make jokes about it because that's their only way of dealing with it. Instead of taking their hat off and giving somebody props, giving them their props for bitten, you know. Nobody's supposed to get an award for doing time, but at the same time, you should still be honored and respected to the highest level for being able to have the fortitude to endure all of that motherfucking pain and still come out, you know, like the clean bill of health. Mentally, spiritually, morally. A lot of brothers come out even more sharper. A lot of them come out more aware. A lot of them come out while they in, they drop that religion. They drop all that religious shit. And they come out on the straight God frequency. Straight warrior frequency. So, you know, and to my brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, you know, feel free, if you ever have access to these videos, feel free to correspond with me. I will write you back if you write me, you know, and just get one of your relatives or if you have somebody that one of your relatives or child or sibling or something that's incarcerated that needs to correspond with someone of my caliber, just contact me and I'll give you the information to give to your people so we can begin a correspondence course. Because what we could do is give them some written instructions on what they have to work on prior to them coming home. And some of the things they could do while they're there, to assist them and help them have an easy transitioning back into the community. Believe me, I've been there. I've done years. And I had to come home to nothing. I'm talking about zero to nothing. And no help from no one. No immediate family, nothing. And my mother offered me her floor in her house, and that was it. No clothing, I had nothing but the clothes on my back, sweatpants, prison issue tennis shoes, and that was it. But I had to get to work, but at the same time, I still had to fulfill my mission of remaining conscious. So I went to the Library of Congress, and the National Archives to do my research. And then when I wasn't doing research, I had found employment, began working, and made the necessary adjustments to elevate myself. That's why I tell everyone has a special gift. Everyone has a unique divine gift that is yours. Find out what it is and use it to its maximum capacity, so it can bring the God out in you. I want to hear from you all. Just don't subscribe. Get busy on the comment box. Ask questions. And at the same time we can build, we can dialogue. Because we can have a cipher outside of off the camera. The camera is just being used for me to convey the information and experiences to you all. But we have to grow as one. We have to work together as a unit. But what I want us to start doing, because I know that's where my focus is going to be at, is on the sister and brother that were recently hung by a motherfucking white lynch mob in Lynchburg, Virginia, and Lexington, North Carolina. So, let's get busy, y'all. And once again, like I don't know whether it was clear or whether I explained it correctly about Punk Master Flex and Whack Off, Jack Off 100 for the disrespectful comments that they have made about the Shakur family. But let me just cut through the chase. If Pac was living, by him busting them police, he'd have bust both of y'all ass open. Especially you, Whack 100. He may have murdered you for talking about his mother. And Flex, you just a straight fag. You just a straight fag. Everybody knows that, man. You don't. For those who don't, just go on YouTube and type in what Nas said about Flex. He didn't respond not one iota to Nas. See, that's just to show you these motherfucking punks, that are part of racism, white supremacy. How detrimental they are to the average person that's trying to reach a God frequency. But I'm going to get back with you all shortly. Hotep, Black Power.